I got all I want, and I got all I need, and I got everything. I got you and me. All I want, I got all I need.
They were just the best. Hey, welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about fondness and admiration. So we're kind of back to Gottman stuff. This comes out of the 7 principles that make marriage work, and the fondness and admiration system is kind of their second pillar, second foundational building block, if you will, for what makes marriage work essentially. So obviously fondness, admiration, and admiration are super fun. And now that we're out of the, how to have conflict and how important it is, and spending lots and lots of time communicating and connecting about different topics such as finances and stressful things like that. Today, we're just going to talk about being fond, literally just really liking your partner and how important that is. Early on in your relationship, Becca and I, we fell asleep once when we were Skyping because neither of us wanted to go and neither of us wanted to say goodbye. And so we literally just Skyped each other all night long. We woke up in the morning and there we were. And I'm sure that you have some really cool moments early on in your relationship where, just your admiration for this person was triggered and your fondness grew for them. Those early moments and that early season can be so invigorating. It can be so potent, thinking about how handsome or attractive or charming or chivalrous or sweet and compassionate your partner is, and learning just how the wonderful things about them. And I think the early fondness and admiration that we feel in our relationship is really important later on, down the road. Because it is this system, the fondness and admiration system, that really keeps down a lot of the 4 horsemen. And we're going to talk about that a little bit later. So early on in a relationship, when you've got the infatuation going and you're seeing through the lens of honeymoon, we don't really see each other with criticism or complaining. It's one of those things where the lens is so tinted in the best way possible that all you can really see are, the attractiveness and the desire to be with this person. And obviously that changes over time. It changes throughout seasons and it changes as we grow, because eventually things like bills and taking care of the house and taking care of children, or even health issues, just general stress, general things come up. And it changes the lens. So over time, that fondness and admiration, those early connecting points, they change. They don't necessarily have to wear down, but they definitely change. And I think that one way that I think about it is the lens continues to grow, and eventually you just see more and more of this person, and life does its work. Life kind of rubs you and changes you and grows you and matures you, hopefully. But also there's some really painful things in life that come after us. And a lot of those things can change and alter the way that we think and feel about our spouses. So protecting our fondness and admiration system becomes extremely important because life is coming after it. The kids are coming after your fondness and admiration for your spouse. Your work, other people of the opposite gender may be coming after your fondness and admiration system. And so if we can hold fast to our fondness and admiration for our partner, essentially we can insulate ourselves. We can hold back life from changing our lens of our partner in a really negative way. In 1000 Conflicts, we discussed how the process of life kind of rubbing on us and us bringing those things into our marriages are really important and necessary, and that they actually can be used to build intimacy. reality always comes in though, and it can definitely threaten to change those lenses and make them suffer, if you will. But here at Marriage is the Best, we know that the fondness is going to change, and we are here to encourage you to hold on to your admiration for each other.
So this is love.
And one way to go ahead and really lean into protecting your fondness and admiration system is building up appreciation. Appreciation is one of the things that builds and strengthens and protects our fondness for each other. It's also a tool that we use to kind of grow and build how we see our partner. Using appreciation, we can continue to hold on to the lens that early on was so attractive to us. What that kind of looks like practically would be on a daily basis, finding things that your partner does well, whether it be, not even that they do well necessarily, but things that you're just really grateful for. A couple of examples, Becca recently took up watching Facebook Reels and finding recipes on Facebook Reels. And it's the only thing that's ever gotten her to go out and buy ingredients and make something from scratch. And she's been doing it for the last couple of weeks, and it's been really cool to watch her kind of learn and grow in that area. So I really appreciate her putting in the time and the effort and just kind of watching her grow. Appreciation is an antidote to one of the 4 horsemen that we talked about a bunch of different times in a bunch of different episodes. You can go check those out as well. But appreciation is an antidote to criticism. So criticism is, coming after a person and essentially tearing them down with negative feedback about themselves and about how they're doing things. And so appreciation is kind of one of the ways that they say that you can counteract criticism. If you're struggling with criticism, it's often a symptom of feeling disconnected. And so you're probably not doing your 20 minutes. You're probably not doing your date nights, which, we haven't gotten to that, but we will. You're probably not doing some things in your system that's making it unsustainable. And so as a result of that, criticism has come out. Some people are more or less, some people are more critical just by nature. And that's, that can be difficult on a marriage if someone is just kind of naturally more critical, and they probably will just have to put in a little bit more work in order to update their system than someone who's really naturally positive and naturally gives lots of compliments or just looks on, has a natural lens for your partner, as opposed to those who struggle more with a critical eye. So if criticism is the antithesis of appreciation, so some of the other horsemen, right, stonewalling and defensiveness and contempt are actually very difficult to hold on to when you are feeling really appreciating or really appreciated. And obviously those things go hand in hand. The more that you kind of put yourself in a position of gratitude and appreciation for this person and what they bring into your life and the beauty and the purpose and meaning that they fill you with, the more you're going to kind of protect yourself from feelings of defensiveness, from feelings of contempt, which is just like nasty, hateful speech, and character assassination. The less stonewalling you're going to do when you're feeling extremely appreciated. And it actually makes you more fond of your person when you take time to regularly express that appreciation. So every day we should attempt to reach out and appreciate our spouses. When you experience a positive thought toward them, when you experience, something that you think that they've done really well, when you see them growing in a certain area, or you think that they handled the kids really well, if you really like her driving, if you really appreciate his work ethic and him going out and killing the dragon and coming home and, providing, those things are, yes, they are things that we must do, right? But they're also things that can sometimes go underappreciated. And so making time to really intentionally put yourself in that position and build your partner up, it'll also build up your marriage as you build toward a stronger fondness and admiration for one another. So go out of your way, go way out of your way to appreciate something that you notice, and make a consistent effort to express that appreciation every day. Eventually, what's going to happen is that effort is going to turn the culture of your marriage and the culture of your family to be one of appreciation and one of fondness and one of admiration, and not one of criticism or contempt. It's a wonderful way to engage your spouse every day. And it's really one of those systems that grows over time, just like the 20 minutes to save your marriage. That episode we discuss just, spending 20 minutes to update, to have a stress relieving conversation, to have a difficult conversation, but basically just to continue to stay updated in each other's lives and to update love maps, which is another of one of the Gottman's principles. So if you see something, say something, and if you can remember the airport, that's kind of like the airport saying, if you see something, say something. So you're not exactly looking for what you might be looking for at the airport, but if you do see something, feel free to say that out and just watch it, watch it change the dynamic in your marriage. Especially if you're feeling like this is like a struggle area, breathing some life into this area may, in fact, updating the culture to feel more like just a really loving, connected culture in your marriage. All right, so let's talk about, oh my goodness, my chair. All right, let's talk about four ways that I have seen fondness really live and well in our marriage. So there was this one time when Becca and I were RAs together, and I was going to be her brother floor RA. Like there's a weird thing. You know what? Maybe lots of colleges do it. I don't think it's that weird. But basically a girls' dorm, freshman dorm, and a boys' freshman dorm would be paired together. And so Becca and my dorms got paired together that year. And so every week we would have meetings and have to interact, and we had to have to plan events together. And this is where my fondness for Becca grew immensely. As I watched her plan events, as I watched her connect with her girls, she had such a huge heart for the girls that she was ministering to. And she touched a lot of lives. She was really impactful because of the way that she is, because of the way that she's wired. And so getting to see her in her element, planning and engaging people and being in relationships, it grew an incredibly deep attraction to her. From me to her, attraction grew. Yes. And it was a really cool thing. Now, we weren't dating at the time because she, wasn't dating me at the time. And instead, other things were going on. She was dating somebody else. But that's fine. It's fine now. We've been married for 10 years. It's fine, guys. So yeah, it was a fun time. It was a good season. And I got to watch her and just enjoy watching her in her element do her thing. It was a very powerful thing. Then a little while later, Becca goes to Paris on a trip. She went to do like a leadership conference and hang out with some family friends out in Norway, maybe Austria. No, both of those, maybe neither. Anyway, she's not here, so she can't correct me. But she went to Paris, and then she kind of did a European tour just for funsies. And every day she reached out. She was like in Paris. She was at the Eiffel Tower, and she like tried to Skype me or tried to get a hold of me. Yeah, we were old. We used Skype. She would call me at odd hours, when she was like super late for her. We would talk and talk and talk and talk. And we just could not stop thinking about each other, wanting to be with one another, and missing each other terribly. I think I was just depressed out of my mind because I was so far away from her. And it was a crazy season, and not like I wouldn't say this, it was like a healthy fondness and admiration system, but it was really intense, and we later found, the idea of codependence and had to do some hard work working through our codependence as well. But it was a really fun season of really loving, really enjoying each other and enjoying the process of learning and connecting with each other. Then let's see, there's another one. Number 3, there was this time when I went on a choir tour to New York, and Becca was not going on because she didn't do choir that year. This was right after my last year at our college. And before I went, she came up to me and gave me a note. It said day 1 on it, and it was folded in kind of a nice, cute little way. And I opened the note, and the note said, "Hey, Peter, you're leaving today. And I just wanted to let you know that I'll be thinking of you, and that I hope that we can continue to get to know one another while we're away. So I've written these notes, and there's going to be one for every day. And at the end, I'm going to ask you a question and tell you something unique about myself." So she had written out and folded differently every day, a different color of paper, a different fold, a different unique thing about her, a different question for me. And it was really an incredible display of intentionality and creativity and beauty. And she's done that a few other times for like birthdays, made me cards, but nothing tops that first time that she blessed me in that way. And it has made me very, very deeply fond of her because of how thoughtful and creative and beautiful she is. And then finally, our last one, our final 4th example, is going to be every single day, no matter what, I try and remember to tell Becca how beautiful she is. And I think I've been fairly successful for the last, 6 to 9 years. But every single day, I just try and remember to let her know. And it's not, that is not a difficult task because I really do find her the most beautiful and attractive. But it's just something that I try and just do intentionally to continue to put my mind and my heart into the idea and to communicate the idea that I am just super, super stoked about how beautiful my spouse is. And that is another way that we attempt to build up our fondness and admiration system. So I would encourage you, if you have a moment to speak with your spouse, maybe taking your 20 minutes, you could reach out to them and connect with them and see about talking about those early fondness memories. What were you fond about back then? Even if you're, struggling now, what were you fond about? What did you admire? Were there moments? Tell them a story about it. Tell them a story about how, you saw that thing or they did something special or something unique, and it really struck you. Remembering those things is another really fantastic way of building up your fondness and admiration system and stretching it out, like stretching it forward in time. Building it up, strengthening it so that your marriage can be blessed by it. So we would encourage you to do that, to look at those things, to encourage one another with them. Obviously Becca remembers a lot of things that I have forgotten, and she is great at reminding me of different things. And most of them, some of them, a few of them can be positive at times that she reminds me of, and those are good. So that's fun. But anyways, I wanted to just give you an example of some of those things, but go out, do it, have fun. That is our encouragement for you today, updating that fondness and admiration system by appreciating one another. So if you're enjoying our content, obviously feel free to rate it on Spotify or Apple or wherever you're getting it, and leave a comment if you really want to. Shoot us an email. We've got the email in the description. If you want to buy 7 Principles for Making Marriage Work, feel free to look at our show notes, and you will find a bunch of different resources in there. Shout out to Counseling Care. If you're looking for marriage therapy, feel free to reach out to Counseling Care at counselingcare.us. And I think that's pretty much all. It feels so self-promotion-y. It's disgusting. So, yeah, I think that's all for me. Goodbye, everybody.